you know, and this can open up so many different things. If you look at the museum here, you have already options.
This particular Documenta is talking a lot about refugees and learning from Athens and decolonization, etc. But yesterday, I remember while I was going back home, the taxi driver, he was like, "Oh, are you here for Documenta?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you think of Documenta?" And he was a Turkish person, and he told me, I don't like it." And I was like, "Why not?" And he was like, "I just don't get it. The only piece that I get is the one outside that says we all are the peoples," or something like that. And yeah, that one. And I couldn't help but and today, I keep thinking about it. We're here talking about all these, and it's really complex issues, but the problem is that people outside, we're talking about refugees and stuff, but sometimes, they don't think about themselves as a political agent. They are just or it's not that they don't think themselves like that. I don't want to say something like that, but what I want to say is sometimes these complex issues, they are lost in translation. There's something between what is being discussed here within the institution and what is happening outside. And I cannot help, what can you do with that? When you see people that they just say, "I don't get it," and it's talking about problems that concern them, but everything stays inside the institution. So, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You are witnessing this debate in an institution. This debate has taken place. This is the result of work that started in refugee camps and other places. It just so happens that to reach you, we have to come here.
I understand that, but my problem is, the minute you want to actually reach a further public, and that it's not interested maybe in art, that it's not interested in the intellectual debate, it's just the daily life. I understand that, and I actually followed those practices, and I know forensic architecture and stuff, but my problem is that sometimes it's too high to understand, there are so many things to conceive, so many concepts, that it's difficult to take it back to the ground and explain it to a wider public. So,
it also speaks to the Documenta project, and not that I embody the project at all, but basically by being the curator of the parliamentary bodies and of other parts of the exhibition. I think what I do not believe so much is this distinction between they and us, because this distinction is fully deconstructed within the institution. During these days, it's not so clear anymore who are the refugees here and who are not refugees, right? Many of the people here do have the experience of exile, of being a refugee, and those working with them somehow share this condition. So, and by bringing these discourses right at the center of this institution, in this particular place, where people are coming, they're supposed to come, and basically they spend probably longer time in the queuing for entering into the building than in the building themselves, right? Because we are used to consume art basically as we consume other things, and we come and we walk around. We never spend 2 minutes watching a video or anything else. We just walk around and we say we've seen it, which it doesn't mean much, right? But by locating precisely within this space, that was a parliament of bodies that went on these 2 days for basically 7 hours, but the last week was 15 hours, 20 hours, and that anyone can come because it's free, and that you can come, you're allowed to come and discuss and participate within discussion. We are already trying to break up those borders. I do not believe either into this, say, this kind of a little bit populistic way of seeing that art should basically be for everyone. Because what does it mean? What does it mean, like, basically that, you know, it's like this condescending way of thinking, like the taxi drivers should also be able to understand Documenta exhibition. I truly tell you that the taxi driver can fully understand this exhibition. I am convinced that anyone can actually come to this exhibition and have a very sophisticated discussion. This taxi driver probably has better knowledge of many of the things that are being dealt with in this exhibition than some of the German people that are coming here. So I think this is a quite complex issue, and from the beginning, for instance, being myself the curator of public programs, I do not believe in this notion of the audience that you have to reach. I think that the audience is a market category that I'm not interested in. I'm interested in fostering discussions among a great heterogeneity of people, which is exactly what is happening here. People coming from very specific and sophisticated backgrounds and trying to share those with many different languages. So you're saying we're lost in translation. I'm saying we're starting to learn how to listen to each other's voices, sometimes without understanding, but this is the beginning of a possible conversation.
I'd like only to add one last thing, that I think that sometimes, we work in refugee camps since 10 years, so I don't need a legacy of saying you are with refugees or you are not. I mean, I lived there for many years and I was there and I know the streets. But I think that there are certain things that happen in art that permits you to think about these spaces in a complete different way. And what happened yesterday was witnessing about this. What happened yesterday was impossible in the camp today. And actually leaders are also with us using the art scene in order to create utopias that today are impossible on the ground. So why not to see it this way? I mean, it's almost, I believe that there are many things that we would have not been able to think even about if not through these venues. So I think that each venue has its own, and even refugees with whom we are working. And one of the comments at the beginning when we proposed this project of the heritage is that this is impossible now. It might create a lot of political issues in Palestine, but they say, you are artists, yeah, go ahead with it as an artwork, and then we see what comes next, no? So in a sense, sometimes testing very conflictual and hard grounds needs safe places like art, where you can think about anything, and at the end of the day you step back and say, I'm an artist. So it's only about art, it's only about thinking in a very, very abstract way, and that has nothing to do with the ground. And I don't know, sometimes I feel ungrateful to such venues because it creates completely different ruptures on the grounds.